Meet our next speaker, Mrs. Olubukola Adewuyi, who will be enlightening us on the topic Driving Change. As the CEO of Supreme Education Foundation School and a celebrated strategist and education quality expert, Mrs. Adewuyi is a distinguished figure in Africa's education sector. She began her remarkable journey in education at Middlesex University, London, earning recognition as an Ofsted Outstanding Teacher in the United Kingdom, before taking the helm at Lekki British School in Nigeria. Her visionary leadership and dedication have been instrumental in transforming educational practices and policies. Recognized for her excellence in leadership by The Guardian newspaper and Business Day, Mrs. Adewuyi's contributions have significantly shaped Nigeria's growth and development in education. In her roles as chairman of the ACCA Advisory Committee and head of the Quality Assurance arm of APEN, she has exerted a multifaceted influence on the educational landscape. Her background as a lawyer and family life system coach, combined with affiliations to prestigious organizations like GTCE, NBA, and APEN, underscores her versatility and depth of knowledge. Mrs. Adewuyi's unique philosophy, which is rooted in creativity, resourcefulness, and relentless hard work, positions her as an exceptional strategist, trainer, consultant, and childcare expert. Join us as she shares her insights on driving change, a topic that promises to be enlightening and transformative. Her speech is sure to inspire educators and leaders alike to embrace change and drive innovation in the education sector. Meet our next speaker, Mrs. Olubukola Adewuyi, who will be enlightening us on the topic Driving Change.
Thank you for that.
As the
Hope
CEO.
everyone can hear me.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma. Welcome, ma.
Thank
So you can start now, ma.
And you see, the nice thing about this is that as we are talking about driving change, I'm actually struggling with sharing my screen. Are you able to?
Let me check for my hand. Just click on the present now.
I am.
Okay, so when you click on that, the next option is going to be your window. Click on the window, then share the window you want to share, or share the entire screen. Any of the one you want to share will be fine.
I'm looking at that. Thank you, Kaite, that you can see me. You see, this is so nice because in actual fact, we're talking about driving this. And you say you can't share your screen. I've tried it about, and maybe it's also because I'm using a different iOS.
Okay, let me share from my hand, ma. I think you share your slide with me. Okay, ma.
Yes.
Okay, ma. I'll do that. Thank you.
I swear you just need to change the slide. I will not state that. So, good afternoon, everyone. It's lovely to be here. I've been privileged to listen to most of the other speakers this morning. And so I know I'm not going to be saying anything new to you, but it's really about driving this. And the nice thing about this season and this time is that it sounds very easy when we hear about driving the change, embracing AI, and I identify with everyone that it is not as easy as it seems. But even at that, we have to find a way around it, and we really do have to embrace it. So the use of ChatGPT, Google, if you remember very clearly, when during exams, WAEC exams to be precise, and it was forbidden to take in calculators into the exam hall. Do we have the same problem now? Nah. They do take that. They even not just take the normal calculators, they take the scientific calculators into the examination, and it shows how fast things are moving. I'll give some examples about companies that were not just far away, just in recent times. Thank you for that, Ibe. That struggled with embracing changes, and we don't want to be in their shoes. And the first one is blockbusters. If you can remember blockbusters, please put your hands up. We used to go there to borrow movies. Initially, it used to be the cassette players. It moved to borrowing CDs from them and the large laser disc that looks like a record. Blockbusters were the in thing. In the States, there used to be the red box. And so we'll go and drop in money in the red box and get our movie, pick the movie that you want. But then Netflix came. And the sad thing was that Netflix met with blockbusters so that they could collaborate, merge, and work together. And Blockbuster felt, oh, we are well grounded. This so-called Netflix, the streaming thing is not going to work. It won't last. And they had all the birds, just the same way we are complaining about all the birds that comes with embracing AI now. And then what happened afterwards? We don't care about. I'm sure if I do ask my children about blockbusters, they don't even know what that is. There's no more blockbusters. Netflix have come to stay. If you remember Kodak as well, I don't know if you can, please put your hands up as well. Kodak. I remember that in 2010, during my bridal shower, my wedding, it was Kodak. I wanted Kodak to cover all my pictures and all of that. Then we used to have the films in the rows. I'm sure many people would identify with that. But then, do we have Kodak anymore? Taking of those pictures there? Nah, it doesn't exist anymore. Nokia, I'm sure everybody on this platform can identify with Nokia phones. Nokia was the thing. It was Nokia, and then every other phone. And this wasn't long ago, just 2014. And where is Nokia today? Nowhere to be found. We can't relate with anything. In fact, children of today, they don't even know what Nokia was. We can't, there is no more Nokia. Then let's go back to back then in the 19th century, towards the end of the 19th century era, where we had candle makers. They were making candles that could last longer, candles that could burn for 24 hours, candles that could burn for 72 hours. And then electricity came. And they said, oh, that thing's sparkling, it won't last, it won't take long. And they spent so much energy just getting their candles, making sure the candles were not dripping all over the floor. It was the driplets, the ones without wax. And they kept improving on the candles, whereas electricity came in and it's come to stay. And so now we only use candles as a form of air fresheners in the house, if you're like me that loves to burn candles everywhere. And so it just shows that the best way to predict the future is to invent it and to embrace what comes to play. So it's AI has come to stay. Our mission is to guide our educational communities through this change, leveraging AI to enrich learning experiences and prepare students for a future where AI is omnipresent. You agree with me? It is already omnipresent. Whether we accept, whether we agree or we do not, it is omnipresent. It is everywhere. There's Yahoo in everyone's homes. There's Facebook everywhere. There's Instagram everywhere. Everyone joining me on this platform is using one form of artificial intelligence or the other. So indeed, it has come to stay. I want you to watch this video and please don't be afraid, because when I did, I was afraid. Please watch this video.
红色是表示你的专注力显示得很高。
Teachers at this primary school in China
蓝色是走神了。
know exactly when someone isn't paying attention.
白色就是你可能跟网络还没有连接好。
These headbands measure each student's level of concentration. The information is then directly sent to the teacher's computer and to parents. China has big plans to become a global leader in artificial intelligence. It has enabled a cashless economy where people make purchases with their faces. A giant network of surveillance cameras with facial recognition helps police monitor citizens. Meanwhile, some schools offer glimpses of what the future of high-tech education in the country might look like.
Good job.
Classrooms have robots that analyze students' health and engagement levels. Students wear uniforms with chips that track their locations. There are even surveillance cameras that monitor how often students check their phones or yawn during classes. These gadgets have alarmed Chinese netizens. But schools say it wasn't hard for them getting parental consent to enroll kids into what is one of the world's largest experiments in AI education. A program that's supposed to boost students' grades while also feeding powerful algorithms.
为了就是国家的这个研究呀、发展呀，我觉得是没有问题。
The government has poured billions of dollars into the project, bringing together tech giants, startups, and schools. We got exclusive access to a primary school a few hours outside of Shanghai. To see firsthand how AI tech is being used in the classroom. For this 5th grade class, the day begins with putting on a brain-wave sensing gadget. Students then practice meditating.
现在，想象我们眉心有一点柔和的光芒绽放。
The device is made in China and has 3 electrodes, 2 behind the ears and 1 on the forehead. These sensors pick up electrical signals sent by neurons in the brain. The neural data is then sent in real time to the teacher's computer. So while students are solving math problems, a teacher can quickly find out who's paying attention and who's not.
说明这段时间他是有点在那走神的。
A report is then generated that shows how well the class was paying attention. It even details each student's concentration level at 10-minute intervals. It's then sent to a chat group for parents.
就是他可以看到每个人的评分。
The reports are detailed, but whether these devices really work and what they exactly measure isn't as clear. We were curious if the headbands could actually measure concentration, so one of our reporters tried on the device.
This is a new technology with still fairly little research behind it.
Theodore Zanto is a neuroscientist at the University of California, San Francisco. He was surprised to learn that this tech, called electroencephalography, also known as EEG, is being used in the classroom on children. It's usually used by doctors in hospitals and labs.
EEG is very susceptible to artifacts, and so if you are itchy or just a little fidgety, or the EEG wasn't set up properly so that the electrodes didn't have a good contact, affects the signal.
Despite the chances for false readings, teachers told us the headbands have forced students to become more disciplined.
上课回答我的问题，就是他们的声音会比平常更响亮。
Teachers say the students now pay better attention during class, and that has made them study harder and achieve higher scores.
上课认真听讲，作业做的基本上是全对的。
But not all students are as enthusiastic. This 5th grader, whom we caught dozing off in class, told us his parents punish him for low attention scores. And that kind of data adds a new kind of pressure for students.
想啊，如果在一次考试全班人都考了95分以上，就你考了一个85，你会不会感觉你有一种
Companies we interviewed said the data can go to government-funded research projects. We spoke to parents who were unclear about where the data ended up, and they didn't seem to care too much. Santos says there's likely no privacy protection at all.
In a classroom, if you're trying to make an assessment of an individual student, you really can't anonymize it.
Experts and citizens alike are sounding alarms about various aspects of the country's huge push into artificial intelligence. These classrooms are laboratories for future generations. And while these new tools may potentially help some 200 million students raise their grades, just how this all works out won't be apparent until they become adult citizens.
Now, you must agree with me that the future seems scary, but we have to embrace it one step at a time. One of the things that spoke to me is that even the uniforms, the school uniforms, had chips on it that they could use to locate where the students were. They could use to monitor how they move from class to class, or they go into the bathroom, they come back out. It's used to check the children's concentration level. So as the teacher is teaching, I'm sure if you watch that video carefully, and we could share it afterwards as well. He was sending transmissions to the teacher to see how well the children were understanding, how well they were concentrating. He had an algorithm that was monitoring the children at 10 minutes intervals. And so, in order for us not to be obsolete, teachers need to embrace technology. And so my next slide says that change is the end result of all learning, and we must be prepared to take that change. If you were around in the morning and when Mrs. Posh was talking, she talked about not being bothered about the mundane things, religion. You could see they were speaking in Chinese, they were speaking in their own language, they were speaking in their traditional language. So, not being bothered by language, accent, religion, dressing, and all those other things that takes away our time and our focus, or focusing on the main thing, which is the students, the children's learning. Mrs. Posh said it all. If you missed that session, you want to listen to it again. So our goal is to ensure, please, if you look at my slide, I made some keywords very bold. Is that AI is an enabler. It's very important that we see that is an enabler for inclusive and enhanced learning. It's about leveraging AI to tailor, please note that word, to tailor educational experiences, knowing fully well that in education, in the classroom, one size does not fit all. It never, ever fits all. Every child has their own personalized learning, which is one of the things that AI helps us to do more in this time. Because with the in the former classroom, it was more difficult. You have to access each child. We spend so much time on lesson plan. But now we have the time to actually work on individual child, to personalize their learning experiences, knowing fully well that, I mean, AI can supply us with things with empathy, apathy. We need to put that in place. But if we're able to sort out the mundane putting in all the right data for them, it would help us to personalize their teaching. So to tailor educational experiences that address diverse learning needs and provide equitable access to quality education, we must explore, learn, and adapt continuously, ensuring that AI serves, not again, as a bridge, not a barrier in our classrooms. And so each in our classroom, we need to be able to operate on these four learning areas in my next slide. One, to integrate AI as a learning partner. That is very key. Utilizing all its tools as a source of information, as a platform for the students to question, to experiment and discover. We need to be able to encourage the students in our classrooms to use AI for exploring concepts deeply. It's a pity I missed most of the other sessions, but at least Posh, that I listened to again, talked about this as well. Using it to experiment, discover, ask questions, ask for information. If you're not curious, you won't even get the best out of these tools. So it should be used as an inquiry tool. I mean, encouraging the children's curiosity. It should encourage creative problem solving, using AI tools to present complex problems and scenarios to the student. You have to be intentional about doing that as a teacher. And a simple one I would use is I have a maths teacher in here, and most of the time we ask maths questions as 2 add 2 equals 4. We could use AI to generate questions for the children to say, how would you get 4? What would I bring together? And then as a teacher, the student will begin to explore and see that if I have the number 4, how many different ways using my the board maths, the bracket, the multiplication, the division, the addition, the subtraction, how could I get 4? And then they begin to think of all the ways that they just how would they get it using addition, using subtraction, and they would have to think critically. Encourage them to use AI as a result, as a resource to devise, as a resource to devise innovative solutions, thereby fostering. Sorry. Just a second. For the students, promote critical engagement. Sorry. Promote and questions the outputs and suggestions provided by AI systems. This approach helps in developing critical thinking skills. As students, they learn to discern the have engaged them to use the the moment I asked was, did you use ChatGPT to draft this letter? And the answer was yes. How did you know? I could tell immediately. Yeah. And he not only did it lack the human touch, I could not see our personality reflecting in the letter. And so we, apart from the fact that we encourage the students using these AI tools, it's also important that we know our students, we know the way they write, so we are able to see and detect and help them immediately to begin to use this very don't want to raise a generation that all they depend on to write is the use of is using ChatGPT or AI, and then they lose the ability to ChatGPT, and that is always putting there to say, look, it can make mistakes, and we need to let them know that. We need to let them understand that This knowledge empowers them to use AI responsibly and thoughtfully, maintaining curiosity about how it works and its role in the society. I'm not sure if anyone has seen a video, I think it was last year or 2 years
Can I
ago,
call you later?
about
Or
the
chat? Let me send you a number to call on WhatsApp.
AI
Let me
can
send
be
you a
used
number to
for.
call.
They can be used to bully
Okay.
people. They can be used to make up stories, make up pictures. There is one I found out recently as well, which is voice imitation as well. And so, just listening to me on this program, you could capture my voice, my tone, and it could be used to say, "Oh no, I heard Mrs. Adewuyi when she was on the phone. I actually recorded it. She did this," and so helping them to understand that no, it can be used for a lot of bad things. I'll use the word evil, but it's left to us as teachers to ensure that it's being used properly. So, a question for us all. Consider the knowledge imparted to you. I want us to think back now. Imparted to you by your teachers in the past. If you would you rely solely on that knowledge? How much of that education will remain relevant and effective in today's rapidly evolving world? Would it be relevant? You could share it with us if you're on YouTube. You could share your thoughts with us, and you could share it in the chat room here as well. If you look back at that time, and I think that there will be a lot of things that will be irrelevant. So, as teachers, I think it's high time that at the beginning of the new academic year, this is a very, very good way to start. And it shows your dedication to this profession. We need to our in school that is not relevant. As we prepare our lesson plans in this new year, not necessarily a new academic year, second term, a new year, can we ensure that we are looking at the relevance to everyday life now, relevance to the future as well? Knowing fully well that the future is going at a very, very, very fast pace. We don't want to keep dragging the children backwards with mundane but as you think that it would all be relevant to what we are doing today. I'm just going to look at the chat room if anyone has posted anything there on the chat room. Oh, Mr. Kaite, is this still going on? This is, you say you can't hear me and you can't see me. Please, Iben, can you look? Okay, please, Iben, look into that. It's fine now. Thank you, Katie. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so I wait. I'll keep checking the chat room. If anyone do post something that we could share with each other. Yeah, I will go on to the next slide, which is on the fourth industrial revolution, which is where we are at the moment, and the fact that it does not change what we do, but how we do things. I'll share a little experience. I'm so much a fan of AI now. I recently went out, and at the function, I had my contact lens. So I think Eben is aware of this story. And just a little bit, ever so uncomfortable, ever so lightly, I had my right hand and I pushed my contacts right here and there. Very uncomfortable throughout. I was in the car on my way back home. I was uncomfortable. Said something is wrong with my contact. I used the visor in the car, took out the other one, couldn't find the second one. I thought, oh, maybe the contact lens, then get that Med Plus checked and say, oh, there's nothing in your eye, but I mean, you could use your saline solution for tired eyes. In fact, I remember one of the first pharmacy I went to advised that an eye drop, and I said, no, but I checked on ChatGPT. That is how much AI is changing things. I just checked that has become my little doctor. Well, but it said I should use a saline solution and not an eye drop. So I went to work better. So I went to rinse my eye, and behold, I had my contact. One, it was torn. Two, it was stuck in my upper lid, and it took rinsing with the saline solution to get it out. It shows how much things have changed. If this was just about 3 or 4 years ago, I might have needed to go to the doctors, but I didn't. All I kept checking was asking this question and then checking that. My blood pressure was high. I inputted the readings that was there, and then asked for an advice. What should I do next and everything? Take this medication, check after 2 hours, check this after 3 hours. And it gave me steps on things to do. Even though at the end, it's still advised to consult your doctor. And that is how fast and what a changing world that we are operating now. So it is important that we understand that the first industrial revolution, driven by AI, is reshaping education as a whole. As education, I've kept saying that we must adapt our methods to align with this tech-driven era. It is more about the tools. The new tools is a shift in how we approach teaching and learning. Our focus is now on preparing students for a future where AI is integral, ensuring that they are equipped with the skills and the knowledge to thrive in this evolving landscape. So let's embrace this change and see it as not as a challenge, but as an opportunity to transform the educational process. So adaptability is key. It's about the powerful difference between adapting to cope and adapting to win. So please do not adapt, dear teachers, to just cope. That there's so much pressure on us. Please adapt to win and take it in bits. So as we traverse the bridge from traditional methods to a future intertwined with AI, it is natural to encounter resistance, whether it is uncertainty about new technologies. Please be prepared, not only with this, even with parents. They are concerned about its impact. I love the debate between Socrates and Bill Gates. You can see that they both had valid points, and they both expressing our fears about what the future holds for us. Our first step is to identify these hesitations. But how do we go about it? Number one, start small, one step at a time. Don't be overwhelmed by all that needs to be done. Stay in that your little space and start small. Make sure that you start is always the first step. Build your confidence with training. Expose yourself as much as possible to a lot of trainings. You're doing a good job by being on this already. Check on Posh said it as well on Coursera. There's so many, and there's so many even on YouTube that all you need to do is just listen to it. There's short ones on Instagram, Facebook. There's so much trainings that could help you with building your confidence. And remember that you're starting small. And so as you gain your foothold on one little thing, then move to the next one. Gather enough information on that. And just about 2 nights ago, My sister was working on, I think, a letter or something to our board of trustees. And then she said, she forgot how to screenshot on the phone. And then she went on ChatGPT for next step, next step, next step. And she was able to do it. So in little bits, build your confidence, start small, collaborate and share experiences. Do not work in a silo. Don't do it all by yourself. Be confident enough to ask questions. It is okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to say, I don't know how to do that. What it's not okay to say, I don't know how to do that. But I'm not going to learn how to do that. I'm comfortable not knowing how to do that. No, that is when it's not okay. You don't know how to do it, but learn how to do it. Learn to ask, learn to collaborate, check with other people. Are you able? Are you strong with this? Know your weak points, know your strong points, and then leverage on that. Okay, this person is strong with this. I will leverage on that. Create a body system where you can leverage on your colleagues, on friends that have that are stronger in some areas than you are. Focus on student-centered learning. I'm sure if you are in this profession, one of the first key things that you have is your love for the children, is your love for them to succeed. Focus on student learning, student-centered learning. That would also help you not to be everywhere at the same time. It would help you to focus. Recently, we've been looking at, in my school, we've been looking at the use of data. How does it help us with our students' learning? How does it impact planning? How does it impact the curriculum, the long-term, the short-term planning? How does it impact on our 3 years goal, on our 5 years goal as a school? Once the student is at the center of it all, it begins to help your vision, your mission, everything to align together. And the fifth one, evaluate and reflect on all that you are doing. Where am I? What am I doing well? What am I not doing so well? Like I said, it's okay to be vulnerable. Highlight your strength and your weaknesses and begin to hold on to your strength. You don't want to lose it, but then also begin to work on your weaknesses. Technology will never, ever replace great teachers. But technology in the hands of great teachers is absolutely transformational. Imagine that class where you've embraced technology fully well and your children's writing, you are able to transfer everything. You could use technology to highlight the strengths, the weakness of just a piece of writing. What does this child needs to work on? What will make this child begin to work, to write at this particular level? It's absolutely transformational. And the things that you can do with it. And the nice thing about embracing technology, AI, is that you work without a lot of tension because you're doing so much. You have the tools to work with. Everything is just right at your fingertips. As you have something to, you want to analyze a piece of writing, you want to analyze an equation. They're just tools there for you to use, right? That you don't have to. It's not like back in those days when you have to go to the library and stack up so many books. You could get things done in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. What would in the past would have taken you probably days and weeks. I love it when Mrs. Posh said about writing a book. You could actually write a book now in a day or in a week, especially if you've read up so much already about it. If you have a lot of information about it already, you can, write within 24, 48 hours. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who refuse to learn, unlearn, and relearn. That is one constant thing. There is no time in this time and age that we don't keep learning anew, relearning, and unlearning some of the things that we've always thought were right. And those will be the literature of this century if you are able to learn, unlearn, and relearn. I love our Ventofle's word. It resonates profoundly in our journey through educational technology. And it says it all again, which is what we've been hammering about since morning. It's about adapting. It's not just about adapting to every new trend. Oh, this is coming on board. This is coming on board. That is coming on board. I have to learn how to do this. Pick it one at a time. It's about discerning which innovations truly enhance learning. I've said it's about student-centered learning that enhance learning and align with our teaching goals. Our focus is on evaluating and selecting AI technologies, not all technologies, but the ones that positively impact not every classroom, your classroom, because you know your students more than anyone, fostering an environment that supports continuous learning and adaptability. So as we navigate through this trend, our compass is our commitment to enriching education while preparing our students for the future. Because we know that education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. And so in order for our students to be able to embrace tomorrow and be relevant to tomorrow, we need to prepare them for that tomorrow. It is important that we remember that AI is to enhance learning. To enable it is our catalyst for innovation. Very key that we see that we note that down. And as I begin to conclude, because the time is running so fast, we need to recognize that our crucial role in integrating AI into education. This journey isn't just about employing new tools, like I've been saying since. It's about shaping an educational future where AI enhances learning. Our commitment to this part is key. It involves continuous learning, adaptation, and a willingness to innovate. Please let's be innovative, be creative. As educators, we are not preparing students for a tech-driven future, but also actively participating in creating it as well. So let's embrace AI with enthusiasm, understanding its potential to transform education and our role as its main architect. And I'm sure with this, we are ready for this new year. And I'm hoping that we all have a fantastic new year and that we are able to use this in the classroom easily as we embrace it. Thank you, everyone. And if there are questions, please, if it's if you put it in the chat, or if they're going to open this up for questions, I'm willing to answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you very much. Can we please let's give applause to Mrs. Adewuyi. This is outstanding. You know, I told you that this year I'm bringing people that have actually 1 year of AI only can actually, if you adapt to it, if you don't see it as just, oh, what is happening in the trend, I don't want to touch it, I don't know what it's all about, you are going to do
Eben, over to you.
Oh,
thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone.
Oh, I've been talking. I was thinking you have been hearing me. I've been like,
yeah.
Thank you very much, man. Can we please let's appreciate Mrs. Adewuyi on YouTube. What's going on YouTube? Whoa, thank you on YouTube. It's really coming up on YouTube. Thank you very much on YouTube. On Google Meet, this is nice. Thank you. A lot of questions coming up on Google Meet. Yes, thank you very much on Google Meet, on YouTube. I really appreciate. And I told you before that Start 2024 is going to be outstanding. I know why I was using that statement. It is because I already see it. I've seen it coming. This is somebody I so much cherish when we talk about ability to adapt to change. She's my leader, and she can. Adaptation should be your goal for this. I think, let me just use that word. Regardless of who you are, whether you are a teacher, whether you are even any field you find yourself, adapt to the new trend, involve around it. When you involve around it, it won't turn to a story. I like the starting point when she made mention of the first era, when we have the calculator, and during the exam the children may not be able to come up with calculator and more. And now there are more tools. Even now, there was a post I saw where they said students were using ChatGPT to cheat during the exam. We need to be ready for some of this trend. As a teacher, as leaders, we need to have a growth mindset to be able to adapt to it and know how to win. Even as I'm telling people that in the next few years, students are going to be overnight getting smart. So how do you know? How can this boy be smart overnight? You said it, ma. You said you need to understand them, understand their pattern of writing, understand their knowledge. Where exactly are they? So when they come up with strange knowledge, like overnight knowledge, you'll be able to know, Toby Lover, I like what you are doing, but something is wrong. Tell me, where do you get this? And we are not going to send them away. Oh, don't use it, this and that. We educate them around it. We tell them how to use it. We even give them, we change our curriculum to be able to adapt some of these changes in. So let's look at the comment button. If you have any comment, any question, I will only take 2 questions so that we can relieve her. I really appreciate once again, man. Thank you very much. Out of your busy schedule, and you find time to be able to have to create our stats for us. This is a start for the year. On the 4th of January is not easy. Some people are still partying right now. Thank you very much, ma. Considering the knowledge imparted to you by your teachers in the past. Okay, I think this is my post. Okay, thank you. So we don't have any question on YouTube. Let me check. Is there any question? YouTube, thank you very much. A lot of thank you are coming in from YouTube. Ronke Poch, thank you, ma. I really appreciate everyone for the comments on YouTube. Thank you very much, ma. If you have any question for you, we'll look for a way. I think I will send them directly to you, and I'll look for a way to send them back to our audience. Thank you very much, ma. God bless you.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
So as we continue right now, we are going to be hosting the next speaker. The next speaker is somebody I so much also cherish, and is just exactly like me. When I use the word like me, it means that somebody that is involving with the trend. When you are involving with the trend, you are not joking. I don't joke with such people. I see them as someone that can easily open doors to be able to achieve their goals. So we are going to be hosting the next person. The next person is called Tom Samuel. The next speaker called Tom Samuel. The next speaker, Tom Samuel, will be joining us soon. Before he joins us, I want to check whether it's even online. If you're online, can you please just say hi, Mr. Tom? This is somebody that his exploration is towards another level. Started his career as a phonics expert, and he has explored, just like the way I think I've explored the aesthetics of the classroom to the core. Right now, I'm thinking about adding artificial intelligence towards the classroom decoration. When we talk about classroom decoration, how do we add augmented reality to it? I'll talk about some of those stuff right now. If Mr. Tom Samuel is not around, it is time for me to present. It is time. Thank you very much once again. For us to stay from now to this time, it is good, but I think that it will make more students to be lazy cause there's no need for research. That means our curriculum, the way we teach, we need to change so that we can accommodate such around the school system. It is actually a conversation for a long time. I think this conversation of whether students should use it or students should not use it, let me play a video. By the time I play that video, the video is going to set the tone for my class, and from there, I think the video will even answer your question, and from there we now start right away. I really appreciate everyone for staying till now. It actually shows that you are ready to learn, you are ready to unlearn, and you are ready to relearn.